Alright, today we're going to talk about acidity. Now, we're going to rank these molecules by acidity, the most acidic being number 1 and the least acidic being number 5. Now, the first thing you can do is basically ask yourself, how does the conjugate base look? The more stable the conjugate base, the more acidic the molecule is going to be. So the conjugate base is just going to be the molecule with one less hydrogen and with a negative charge. For example, over here, it would essentially be like that. For this one, it would be that. That is what it would look like. Now, let's ask ourselves which one of these is the most stable or which one of these is the least stable. Now, right off the bat, a negative carbon is going to be the least stable one out of all of them, so automatically I know that's going to be number 5. But even past that, I look at this molecule right here with the sulfur. For one, it has the inductive effect because it has 2 electronegative atoms next adjacent to the negative charge. So this one is immediately number 1. That's why this one is going to be number 2, because it's the same as this one with oxygen here. However, it has the ability to resonate, which makes it much more stable than this one over here, which would lead to this one, an amine, going to be number 4. Because when you compare nitrogen and oxygen is it's more electronegative, it's more to the left on the periodic table than nitrogen. So the order would be 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 1. Alright, we got another set of problems, and we're going to essentially do the exact same thing as what we did last time. Now, one thing I'm going to mention ahead of time is that a terminal alkyne, or an alkyne with the triple bond at the end, is going to be more acidic than one with the triple bond not at the end. That's non-terminal. So the first thing I want to look at is what's the most acidic. And immediately what jumps out to me is the sulfur here. Because sulfur is the biggest atom among these 3. Because let's look at these 2 separately, but oxygen, sulfur, and nitrogen. Among those 3, sulfur is actually the largest. Therefore, it's going to be the most stable conjugate base, which is why this is number 1. And immediately afterwards, it's going to be oxygen here. Now, you would expect nitrogen to come at the number 3 spot, but actually, what you should know is that a terminal alkyne is more acidic than an amine. That's something you just kind of have to remember. That's something you have to memorize. But then, in that order, what would happen is the non-terminal one would be in last place. And that's the order for this one right here.